I'm about to start a backpacking trip with a 50-pound pack. This is the heaviest pack that I've carried in a very long time. So why am I doing it? Normally I like to go as lightweight as possible so that I can be comfortable while on trail and hiking. But on this trip, I'm flipping the script. I want to see if the pain and potential for injury while carrying a heavy pack is worth it for the comforts that I'm gonna get while at camp. And let me tell you, I've got some pretty awesome goodies in here that I'm gonna be sharing with you.
Another 6 kilometers, 5 kilometers past that.
I'm on a trip with 8 guys, which is the biggest trip with the most people that I've ever been on. We're starting in Jasper National Park, heading up over Cataract Pass to Pinto Lake, Michelle Lakes, and then down Owen Creek into Banff National Park. I'm using the Kelty Glendale 85 pack. It has a carrying rating of 45 to 75 pounds. So far, it's carrying the weight really well. Like I said, I have over 50 pounds in here, and I'm feeling pretty good a couple miles into the trip. We'll see tomorrow, because tomorrow's the big day. We're gonna be doing 20 kilometers. And then the day after that, we have the most elevation gain. And elevation gain is really where I think it's gonna kick my butt. So it's been raining all morning. It's supposed to continue to rain into tonight and tomorrow morning. Luckily, because I have such a heavy pack, I have a lot of gear. So I should be able to keep myself as well as several people comfortable once we get to camp. We're almost halfway done the day, 6 kilometers so far, and the pack is carrying pretty good. I'm surprised. I've carried less weight in other packs before that were built what seemed to be more robust, and they didn't carry the weight nearly as well. This is the kind of trip to bring a heavy pack on. We're not doing a ton of mileage every day. Tomorrow out of the 4 days is when we're gonna have the most mileage, so we're gonna have a lot more time at camp, and I'm gonna be able to enjoy the items that I have in the pack. So we're gonna be heading down this trail and then hitting that wall and turning right up to Cataract Pass. From here on out, we're gonna be on Great Divide Trail, so maybe we'll run into some Great Dividers, which would be pretty cool. And I'm excited to get back on the trail and see some spots that I really, really loved. What I'm not looking forward to is climbing up the pass. I know it's steep and it's a lot of elevation gain. I'm already struggling on some of the elevation that we've been hitting, and it's not even been that steep and for that long. Scrambling. 50-pound pack. It's great. That was tough going scrambling through there. Definitely some sketchy spots. With 10-15-pound pack, like when I did the Great Divide Trail last time, that wasn't too bad. But the 55-pound pack, it's
that's your own fault, Justin.
I got goodies in here for you.
He says that he's just out of shape, you guys. Let's just be real.
We can do some
50 pounds.
We'll do some stretches and some exercise when we get to camp.
We're gonna have to. I'm not getting any younger. Oh, hey, little buddy. Oh, you're the cutest little Pika ever.
Yeah.
Where? Right in here.
This guy.
Oh my goodness.
Aren't you cute?
Oh, he's terrified, the poor little guy.
Oh, you look like my puppy.
Oh, I want a picture of it.
The last time I was in this area was when I was hiking the Great Divide Trail and I was dealing with a shin splint injury, and that's one of my concerns on this trip. When you're carrying a heavy load like I am, you're a lot more at risk of getting injured. You can twist an ankle. If you get a little bit off balance, it's gonna throw you off a lot more. And then even just the wear and tear on the body when you're going up these hills and going downhill is a lot more. We made it.
This is the rest of the crew.
Yeah, this is the top of the pass.
You guys are in the top 5.
Well, some of us. How's that for you guys?
That was good.
It started raining. That's where we're heading to camp. It's beautiful, especially when the weather's clear. Hopefully tomorrow morning we get a little bit of some of these clouds clearing up. I'm excited to get my shelter set up because I have a pretty good shelter for rain and some stuff in order to share with the other guys in order to keep us a little bit more comfortable at camp. We found our campsite. We're getting the tarp set up. I ended up bringing a tarp because I knew that the weather was going to be super rainy for at least this first day. Hopefully it lets up a little bit tomorrow and the other days. It might just be off and on over the entire 4 days of the trip. The tent that I brought on this trip is the Durston X-Mid Pro 2. I wanted to bring a 2-person tent so I could just throw everything in there, get inside and have a ton of space just to hang out, organize all my gear, especially with this rain that we're getting. It's pretty crazy. And then I wanted to bring a Dyneema tent because Dyneema doesn't hold on to water, so I'm not gonna be having to deal with as much water in the morning. I just wipe down any condensation from the inside and then any rain that accumulates on the outside really easily. It is raining really hard. We're all crammed in under this tent. I'm gonna get dinner going. I have my chair here set up. I'm gonna have a nice place to seat and use the wind burner. So other than Jesse, who's with Backcountry Forward, you guys know him. Everyone else is from the US, and it's I don't think they're quite used to the same kind of weather that we see in Canada in late July here.
I'm from California. This is the best.
We brought some great snacks for this trip because we're able to. 55 pounds. We got some ketchup chips. Jesse brought those. I brought some coffee crisps for the Americans. The Pringles are being passed around. And I have another snack for tomorrow, or maybe the next day as well. But we'll keep that a little bit of a secret for now.
I'm excited.
When weight is an issue, you can just kind of bring any food that you want. And personally, I like some delicious snacks. It's raining really hard still. We're all gonna be heading to bed, trying to stay warm because it's getting cold. It's supposed to drop down to freezing or lower, and there's already snow up in the mountains coming down. So it's probably gonna be waking up to snow tomorrow morning. I don't think anyone was really expecting that or ready for it. I'm all packed into bed. I have enough clothes to stay warm tonight. I have a lot of clothes. I was able to bring a lot of clothes because I didn't worry about clothing at all when I was packing. I have a pair of socks for every day, a pair of underwear for every day, and a lot of warm clothes. I have everything that I'm wearing right now. I have another sweater and then a down jacket. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I do think we're gonna wake up to snow, and that's gonna be a bit of a shocker for everybody. I think tonight and then tomorrow are gonna be a little bit miserable. Hopefully the treats that I brought and the tarp help out a little bit with morale. And I have a few extra treats that will hopefully bring morale up a little bit at camp tomorrow. And we should be able to have a fire tomorrow as well, which will make things a lot better as far as getting warm and staying warm. Good morning. Temperatures got down to just above freezing, 3 degrees Celsius, so it wasn't as bad as expected. The rain stopped kind of as forecasted, 9 p.m., which was really nice. So we're waking up to no rain and a little bit of cloud cover, but hopefully that clears off. I'm gonna get my breakfast going, and as I let that kind of rehydrate, I got some oatmeal in this Rusby bag here. I'll share with you this whole system that I got going on here for camp comfort. The chair that I'm using is a new chair from Nemo. It weighs about the same as a Helinox Chair Zero at around a pound. It's the Moonlight Elite chair. So what's really cool about this chair, other than the weight, is that it has these adjusters on the side that allows you to have it in upright mode like I have right now, or you can let them loose and then be in decline or recline mode. And I really like that feature because sometimes I want to be in one or the other, and both other chairs are kind of locked in on one option. And on this trip, I also brought a table. It was a little bit useful yesterday just to prop things up off the wet ground, and then as you're sitting in your chair, you can kind of just have things at arm level and easy to reach. So nice little comfort item addition there. We're just eating breakfast, getting camp all taken down. We're gonna pack up really quickly and hit the trail. 50-pound pack is gonna be a little bit brutal, but hopefully once we get to camp, carrying all that weight is gonna be worth it for the sleep system that I have, which I'll share with you guys. It's insanely comfortable, and then some of the extra little treats that I brought as well. Yeah, you warming up, Derek?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys stay warm last night?
Last night was great.
Yeah,
You good?
That's great.
That's awesome. So we made it to camp. My body is pretty sore. I'm wrapped. My knees, my ankles are really sore. Hopefully I can get a good night's sleep because I'm packing not the lightest, but probably the comfiest sleep system that you can get out there. I'm gonna set up right here and I'll share that with you, and then we're gonna head over and have dinner. Because I thought we might be having a fire, and we have a fire pit over there, I did bring the king of firewood processing, the ultimate saw out there. Excited to bust that out and start chopping some wood. For my sleep system, start with the pillow, because the pillow is pretty epic. This is the Xped Mega Pillow, and I use the 2 loops on either side to attach a pad strap to it, just with shot cord. This thing is insanely comfortable. It's tall, it's big, I can toss and turn, and even though it's heavy, it's worth it, especially on trips like this where I want to be getting a good night's sleep. My sleeping pad is the REI Helix sleeping pad. This thing is very warm. Even in the field, I've been testing sleeping pads a lot, and some of them don't live up to their R value. This one does. Super warm, and then super comfortable with the baffling system that it has. So you can see it has these little dimples, and what makes this one really effective is that when you press down on the dimple, it just creates this little spring, and each of these springs relieves pressure points. So this pad is really comfortable. I don't have any limbs falling asleep on me or going numb. And then for my quilt, I'm using the Enlightened Equipment Revelation Apex 40. So this is a 40-degree quilt. So not quite warm enough for these temperatures, but I brought a lot of clothing. But it's made out of synthetic material, so even if it gets a little damp due to the rain and the humidity out here, it's gonna still insulate me really well. It's not gonna start clumping up like down does. This sleep system is phenomenal. Definitely go check it out. The link's in the video description. I had a great night's sleep last night, and I expect to have the same tonight, and I need it because my body, like I said, is beat. Just how I like how you learn in school.
Oh. Oh, wow. Oh.
Let's get some water. Oh, it's a little wet. Oh, no, it's smoking. Should be
Protected area there.
Gotta get it hot underneath, guys.
No, that's not this.
Tomorrow we have the most elevation gain out of any day of the trip. It's gonna be a lot, 1,100 meters. And with a 55-pound pack, I'm not looking forward to it. Hopefully I wake up well rested. My body feels good. I'm not sore after getting a good night's sleep on that sleep system. But I know I'm gonna be moving slow, and I'll probably be able to tell you after that elevation gain, once we get to tomorrow's campsite, whether it was worth it to carry all that weight for the luxuries and comfort at camp, or if the suffering was just too much. We're gonna be heading up along the lake, and then up over pass, down a little bit, and then up over another pass to the highest point of the Great Divide Trail, probably seeing the best views of the entire trip, and fingers crossed it's not raining. Good morning. Slept like a baby. That Helix sleeping pad is insanely comfortable, really warm. Glad I brought on this trip. We're gonna get camp taken down, eat breakfast, go number 2, and then we're gonna hit the trail and tackle that elevation gain. Some of the guys have been offering to take gear off me and carry it up the elevation. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what I can do. If it's too much and I'm falling really far behind, then I might take them up on that offer. We'll have to see. And then we'll get up onto those passes, and it's a beautiful sunny day, so we should have some amazing views as well. With the rain that we've had for the last 2 days, something that's been really nice is I brought an extra pair of socks and underwear for every day of this trip. So that's 3 extra pairs of underwear, 3 extra pairs of socks in addition to the ones I was wearing on day 1. That's been nice. Normally I wouldn't do that. And putting on damp socks day after day can kind of wear on you. It's a lot. So it's nice to have dry socks. And I have my camp booties as well down here, which have been amazing. Instead of having to wear my soaking wet shoes, even when I take the insoles out and let them dry a little bit, they're still not quite as comfortable as having camp booties. So 2 more luxuries that have been quite nice on this trip, especially due to the weather. Feeling pretty good right now because of that good night's sleep. Feel rested, nothing super sore, which is surprising. This pack is phenomenal. It just basically becomes part of your body, and then you're just carrying extra weight up with you. But it is 50 pounds of extra weight. So while my body's used to carrying around 180 pounds, right now it's carrying around 230. We're leaving the lake shore and we're starting to make our ascent. We're gonna probably have some nice switchbacks at first until we hit kind of the valley and then the pass, and then that's where the grind is really gonna start.
Okay, sounds good.
Podcaster.
The worst of the elevation, no? Oh, are you kidding?
I'm always okay.
the two safeties, they really switched to a cover one right there.
So we came along that drainage up here, and then we're gonna continue heading up here and hit the top of this ridge, hit right there at that cairn, and then drop down basically to the same amount of elevation as we'll probably be about there, and then go up an equally as steep and difficult pass is what we're looking at right now. Woo! Oh! This is sick.
Oh, oh, oh. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. Oh!
Made it up onto the pass, the first pass. Feeling pretty good. How are you guys feeling? That was a lot of elevation gain.
That was awesome.
Feeling good. Glad
That
we
was
made
tough, but it was awesome.
Yeah. My calves and quads, glutes, feeling it.
Hey.
Next step from here is to drop down to this valley, head up a little bit there, and then cut across in between those two peaks into that pass right there, and that's gonna be the highest point of the whole trip. And pretty epic views from there. We might end up climbing up onto that peak too. We're gonna take packs off here, have a little break. This thing's a beast. I don't know if I'll ever carry this much weight again. We'll see if it's worth it. Ugh. Still reflecting on that, still reflecting. We just watered up, cameled up. I'm not carrying too much water because we're heading straight uphill from here up to the highest point on the trail. These breaks are nice, but I know I'm gonna be hurting by the time we get up to the pass.
Last. For the end. I see trail police.
Justin, you need me to carry something for you?
I'm good. I'll get up this hill.
Are you sure?
We'll see.
Okay.
I'll let you know. Thank you, Jesse. So we started down in the creek bed down there. We're making up pretty good elevation. The problem is that there's no trail here, so we're just kind of navigating based on what's on my watch here, the Enduro 2. And just following a general route, because most people, they come and they do the GDT the opposite direction, then they hit this pass and they just kind of like disperse down this trail. So there's nothing that ever gets really defined and scoured out. But it's tough going, and we have another big slog ahead of us to get to the top of the pass. Right now, I'm not sure having all this weight is worth it. This is a slog climbing up this hill. But I have something in my pack for at camp that may change my mind. We'll see. Whew. So we realized that we probably should have crossed over a little bit sooner onto that other ridge, but because of where we are right now, we're thinking of just powering up there and then hitting this really sweet summit, really awesome spot that we were thinking of dropping our packs and hiking to once we got to the pass. But then we have different scenarios going on where some people are probably gonna just cut across here, head to the pass, then maybe drop their packs, and then the rest of us are gonna be going up. I'm not sure if I'm making the best decision to push for the summit. I think it's further than it looks, but it'll be rewarding. In 10 years, I'm gonna look back and I'm probably not gonna regret it. So there's the top just right there. You can see on the horizon line. There's the pass that we're gonna be coming down to. Jesse just had a really good idea to cut across to where we'll go down to the pass, drop our packs, and then make the last final push. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna make a big difference for me, I think. It would take me a very long time just to make that final push to the summit if I didn't do that though. Just made it up here. Feels pretty darn good. Yeah. Taking the packs off was a game changer. And we're gonna be able to see our campsite just from that other little ridge. We'll go check it out and then head down to the pass. We started down there, came down up this creek, up this valley, and then straight up this scree slope to get on this ridge and see some phenomenal views. And then we'll head down over there to the lake where we're gonna be camping. Tomorrow, we head up over that pass and then down to Owen Creek. Yeah! Woo! Woo! Heading back down now, picking my pack. I don't think I would have made it up that last push with my pack. So yeah, that's a limiting factor of having a super heavy pack. You sometimes will be limited on what you can do and where you can go. Got the pack back on, time to book it down to camp. My legs don't jiggle jiggle, they fold. I recognize this feeling from the Great Divide Trail. It's delirium, I think. Woo! I love hiking. Where am I? Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Just working our way down to the lake. It's been a slog. I can't wait to get down there, take my pack off, set up camp, take a load off in the chair, have my special treat for myself. Whew, but these views. One second. Was it worth carrying a beer for 3 days? I don't know. After 18 kilometers and a ton of elevation today and carrying that 50-pound pack, this is going straight to my head. So let's try and get through this summary of whether carrying the 50-pound pack for the luxuries and the comforts that I had at camp was worth it for the discomfort that I had on trail. So in some ways, I think it was worth it. The kind of trip that I was on where we were doing lower mileage and the weather was pretty bad. We had rain the first 2 days. I think because of those reasons, it was worth it carrying a bit of extra weight. Having the tarp, having the 2-person tent was really nice for those scenarios. And then all the extra clothes, once my socks got wet, I was able to change them out. That was worth it for me. But I was struggling on a lot of these days, and even though they're shorter, they're still very hard. If I had a much lighter pack, I would have been cruising up and down this elevation, no problem. I also really enjoyed all the treats I had on this trip, all the snacks I had, the good food, the beer on day 3. I had to carry this, a whole pound for basically 3 days. But on the same token, the weight wasn't as much of an issue as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was gonna be dying with 55 pounds. I thought I was gonna be way behind everybody, getting to camp at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and then having to wake up early and go on ahead of them just to make up the distance. But that wasn't the case. The pack carried the weight very well, and the 55 pounds didn't feel too bad. But if I was gonna be doing this trip again, I probably would have tried for a much lower weight, probably around 35, 40, probably 40 pounds is where I would have ended up with. I would have brought a little bit less clothing, a little bit less food. I probably wouldn't have brought like axe throwing and some of those silly items. Even a beer is kind of unneeded on a trip like this. And I would have been able to get down to 40 pounds. I would have been really comfortable at camp, but then the hiking would have been a lot easier. Dropping from 55 pounds down to 40 pounds is a big difference. So overall, I learned a lot on this trip. I kind of pushed past some of the preconceived notions that I had of what a heavy pack would do to you and how it would impact you on trail, which was really cool. I think a lot of people out there are using packs over 40 pounds. So now I have a little bit more sympathy for them and have a little bit more of an understanding of why they would do it and how it impacts their time on trail. If If you want to see a trip on the flip side of this, where I use a pack with a base weight of 7 pounds, go check out this video right up here. I attempt to fast pack the Rockwall Trail, which is a pretty long trail, tons of elevation up and down again. And I use a very lightweight pack and try to do that. It was a very fun trip, and you guys should definitely go check that out.